Oh, hello there, my darlings, and welcome back to another little episode of Warframes. And today, as you can see on the screen, we are looking at Nautilus Prime, but also the original Nautilus. We're not going to leave that one out. I'm a bit late to the Nautilus Prime party, but you know, it takes a moment, especially when you're a content creator. Anyway, before we get into that, please consider dropping me a like, comment, and or sub, because do you know what? I've noticed if I just ask in the first like 30 to 40 seconds of the video, you guys actually do it. So it's like, yeah, I just have to ask. Can I get a like? Could you leave me a comment and I'll love you forever? I mean, maybe not forever, but at least for the duration of this video. Anyway, my darlings, let's get into Nautilus Companion. So to get your normal Nautilus, you're going to have to head to Railjack missions, Veil Proxima, the Void Relic missions. I believe those are potentially on the Railjack missions. And ironically, Nautilus is one of those sentinels that is awesome at Railjacks because it comes with 2 Precept Mods specifically for Railjack missions, which we'll take a look at in a minute. So those are the drop rates. I mean, go to the Warframe wiki and it'll tell you. You can also buy normal Nautilus pieces and sets from the Warframe market from other players. I worked it out for the prices that I saw. The whole set was like up for 70 plat, which is ridiculous because you can get it for around that from the actual Warframe market in the game. And the separate parts, if you bought them all together, would add up to 50 plat. So someone make that make sense. And the Nautilus Prime also was going for around 50 plat. So, but the Nautilus Prime is not vaulted at the moment. We'll have a look at the relics just in a moment. And like I mentioned, if you go to the in-game market, you can get it for 75 plat. Now, I couldn't see that it came with 2 slots for companions because you need 2 slots when you build this kind of companion because it's one for the sentinel, one for its weapon. But yeah, wasn't sure about that. Anyway, so I was wanting to grind out Nautilus Prime because I got my Sevagoth Prime, I got my Epitaph Prime, and Nautilus Prime was released at the same time. And you go to Railjack missions also to grind out Sevagoth, so they're all linked together. So I went to my inventory because I could see that I didn't have its main primed blueprint, so it wasn't going to tell me if I had all the other ones that I needed. So I've got the carapace, as you can see, and I've got the systems, but I've also got some of the relics. So the relics that you're going to need are the Mizo N17, it's the rare drop for the blueprint, which is what I needed. The Neo G7 common drop is the carapace. The Axie S16 is the uncommon drop for the systems, and the Lith N15 is the rare drop again for the Cerebrum. Now, spoiler alert, I did end up buying one of these because I just didn't have time. And as you may have seen in my previous Warframe episode, how I trade to earn plat. Wow. I have a little chunk of plat there, so don't come for me, okay? God, if you want to sell, buy you one. You know, Mama Barbarian will shower you with gifts. Anyway, I'm joking. Go and grind it out yourself, you lazy booger. Anyway, as you can see, I've got the VERGLAS, which is linked to the original Nautilus. Now, I know the VERGLAS is a very good weapon, so I did want the Prime version. And some people say the Prime version things aren't much better than the originals, but I'm reading the wiki as we speak, and the Nautilus Sentinel actually has slightly higher shields and armor than its original version. So the shields are 350 for the Prime version, but 250 for the normal, and the armor is 175 versus 80 for the normal. So there are some benefits, and also if you think about it, you've got 4 chances of earning affinity here. Not even chances, you will earn affinity for the Nautilus, the VERGLAS, the Nautilus Prime, and the VERGLAS Prime, right? See where I'm going with this? Affinity farming, higher mastery, more trades. I'm just saying, there's so many benefits to being a greedy little loot goblin. So I'm not going to go over all the different places you can go and farm the specific relics for the Nautilus, because there are so many. Wherever you find your relics in game, whether it's in your codex or your void relic station or your inventory, if you right click or tab across, it will give you all of the nodes that are available to you related to that relic where it may drop from. Okay, it could be survivals, it could be I go to the void and do like the Hepit and Teshub and stuff like that to grind out relics, and they usually drop. I only had 2 of the Lith ones though, so I actually ended up buying one of the relics. As you can see, I came to, I think this is Circulus on Lua. It's an Omnia Fissure, which means it's a bit higher level, hence why I've got my amazing Jaya build to see myself. I mean, the kill count with this build is chef's kiss. I don't mean to brag, but I freaking love playing this Omnia Circulus mission. You know, grinding out relics. So I managed to get one of them, but I couldn't get the other. So, you know, pick your battles, and once you've got all the blueprints that you need, you don't have to build component blueprints for your sentinels, you just have to collect them and then build the main blueprint with your 3 component blueprints that are just sat there waiting for you. Yes, no, like it's not like a Warframe where you have to build each separate component first, luckily. Oh, joy. Sorry, I'm just watching this as I'm editing, and it's chef's kiss. Like, if you want me to go and grind you out at some point, just give me the relics, man, and I'll do this Omnia Fissure on Circulus like for hours quite happily. I just love murdering things. What can I say? It's like free therapy. So I don't actually have it on the screen, but at some point from doing these Omnia Fissures, I managed to get the Miso N17 rare drop 2 drop, and I've got the main blueprint. But I was more interested in the kill count, 30 minutes. Oh my god, it was so much fun. Honestly, not complaining at all about having to grind out these prime parts. But I ran out of Lith relics for the Cerebrum. I only had 2 or 3, and it didn't drop. So when I bought it, the Cerebrum for 10 plat. Let's be precise here. And you don't have to build them once you've bought them. They're just sat there, and then all you have to do is go and build your sentinel. And obviously that takes 24 hours and 15,000 credits. And also you're going to need 6 Orokin cells, just so you know. And to rush it, it's going to cost 30 plat, and you need 2 companion slots. As you can see, I had to buy some. That's right, I treated myself. What can I say? Refer back to my trading video where I make a little bit of plat here and there. If you're wondering how to make plat, it's not easy, but it's not difficult. I'd say it's harder at the beginning of the game when you haven't got a huge amount of resources and stuff, and you want to keep all the good stuff for yourself instead of selling it on. But there are loads of things you can trade. Anyway, I rushed my build, and look how pretty this Nautilus Prime is. He's very, very gorgeous. I mean, you can buy other skins for him. I didn't. I was good. I saved my plat. The only issue I have with this skin is that when I attach it as a companion to some of my Warframes, that little bottom tail bit there, yeah, it sticks inside their head, like it sticks into their head. It clips into their head. I don't like it. Anyway, all that aside, we're about to mod it, but I just wanted to know what you guys are using your Nautilus Primes for, or your VERGLAS Primes. And are you using your VERGLAS with the Nautilus exclusively, or are you sort of mixing and matching? What are you doing over there? Let me know, I'm nosy. And I've got some mod configurations to show you, but doesn't mean they're the best mod configurations, and mod configurations can be adjusted, can't they? So let's get into that, shall we? Why am I yelling? I don't know. I'm excited. Anyway, the Nautilus or Nautilus Prime, when you build them, they come with 2 preset mods. And one is the Cordon, which the Nautilus forces enemies within 30 meters, once fully fused, of the target into clusters for easier targeting. And the cooldown at this point is 15 seconds. Auto Omni, Railjack again. Nautilus has 100% chance, once fully fused, to repair nearby Railjack hull damages, awesome, and extinguishes fires on Railjack, cooldown 20 seconds. Like, so of course you're going to use the Nautilus for your Railjack missions, right? Now, does that mean you'd have to have like a whole separate like mod config for Railjack versus normal missions? Would you take your Nautilus on normal missions, or would you take your other sentinels or your other companions? So now I'm like, there are so many companions. I need to do a whole companion series because I need to educate myself more. I've heard some people in my comments talking about the mowers and that they don't get enough time now, even though they've improved them. There's obviously the sentinels, there's the Cavats, the Kubros, the infested pets that you can build with Sun, and I'm sure I'm missing some as well. So there's all sorts of companions, isn't there? The sentinels. I mean, we all started out with the Taxon, right? Good times. Anyway, so I'm going to show you these builds. I'm not going to bore you with the ranking up of them. I'm just going to show you what I was doing in the Simulacrum. And then I was trying different Warframes with the Nautilus and the VERGLAS because I just wasn't sure. So this is where you guys come in. I would very much like people to leave some comments saying, this is what I'm using it for. This is my kind of mod config. Give us a vague idea based on what you see on the screen, or whose build you're using, maybe on Overframe. Or like, come and find me in the Discord and post your builds in my Discord. There is a whole Warframe. Oh, I don't have a Sentinel one, or like a companion configuration channel, but I can create one because I'm very excited and I want to learn. I want to educate myself. And also, this has opened the pathway now to me going back to Railjack missions and trying to get my intrinsics up. So there's going to be an incoming Railjack stroke intrinsics episode incoming, but I have to do some work on that. Anyway, in the meantime, whilst we're looking at me putting the mods in, I just wanted to say a massive great shout out to a lovely Discordian, also YouTube supporter called Tim Allen. Not the Tim Allen, well it might be, I don't know, from Home Improvements, who has paid with his own dear sweet money to be my wolf barbarian, or my first wolf barbarian. So I have these tiers attached to my channel. So if you pay the monthly whatever, you don't have to keep it up forever. Just the thought was there, Tim Allen, and I love you dearly for it. I got so excited when I got that notification. I think I've had one before, but that was for my Fearless Barbarian tier. Anyway, it just means that Tim can now watch my videos before the rest of you. That's right. So, and he will also get shout outs in my videos and his name on the screen in lights, because I get excited about this stuff because it's still not quite sinking in that, you know, we're doing okay over here in our own corner of YouTube. Anyway, back to the VERGLAS. So let's have a look at the mod configurations that I ended up with, and these are still a work in progress. So I used an Ninjase, obviously, but this is this config A. I just called this good because I'd kind of shoved it in myself. I don't think I used anybody from Overframe for this one. And it was okay, it was fine, but Ninjase's build on Overframe, it kind of goes into a bit more detail. Like, he says put cordon in the first precept slot because that overrules manifold bond, like it comes first. It's prioritized essentially by the sentinel or manifold bonds cooldown reduction. So the order you put them in are really important, and in their Overframe notes they explain to you what's important and what isn't, what you can switch out, what you can switch in, and what you might be using it for. And it's that I can't, it's so much information that I'm like, I don't want to be faffing around. I just want one good build and maybe one good Railjack build. That's all I want for my Nautilus. And as for the VERGLAS, I know it's a good weapon, so I kind of will probably want to use it in a lot of my sentinels, I guess, maybe, possibly. So working on a good kind of kerpow build for that, like an all-rounder, you know, something that's not specific to a type of mission. I like a generic build. And as you can see, I've got the Beastlinator here. That's also an Overframer and his build and his notes, and he actually thanks Ninjase for some advice as well. So Ninjase seems to be the top dog there. So pop over to Overframe if you want some more details. I'm not going to go over them here because they're not my details to give. I'm just showing you how I've modded it, and then we'll have a look at it in the Simulacrum. And then I mean I did take it out on missions. I'm still not convinced because obviously there are other sentinels with other kind of awesome useful abilities, and I'm going to go over them all and then try and decide which ones I like the best for what. But I guess it's just, I mean, we're spoiled for choice now, and now that they've upgraded the mods and they've changed how we mod the pets and their kind of their claws, etc., it's just like, yeah, I need to get my teeth literally into all of this. And here we are just watching a little bit of the SteelPath Void Relic here. I was really enjoying it, but what I realised later, because someone told me politely, funnily, actually had me cackling, and I invite them to the Discord, that my Nova colours were so bright that they were just blinding everyone in the mission. I'm so sorry, everyone. Anyway, I then went over to a Simulacrum, and I just happened to be Neza with my Nautilus Prime, and obviously I've got these couple of builds for the Prime, the Nautilus, and also the VERGLAS. So I just wanted to trial them out and see what they're like with different Warframes. So obviously I'm Neza, and my Neza isn't as tanky as he used to be. There's something missing, I think, from my Neza. I need to tweak him. He used to be my go-to Warframe, but not so much anymore. And then I switched to Citrine. Now I have a couple of builds for Citrine, or a few. I've got a tanky build, I've got the mecha build. So the companion would have to have like a mecha set on them, which is a Kubra. You can't put it on the Nautilus. Can't put it on Sentinels. And then I have like a generic build for her. So she's pretty good. And the test always here for me, I've got it at 220. I haven't got any kind of like immunity from being killed or anything on here, and the test is always these damn sentients. And what tends to happen for me if my build is not good and I can't kill them quick enough is they kill me quicker. So staying alive long enough to kill them as quickly as I can is always the test, and as you can see, we blaze through it as Citrine. So I took Nautilus off, I unequipped it, and can you guess what may have happened? Real damn quick. So it turned out that the sentients were killing us. It's just something to do with the Nautilus build, and I believe I was on the good build, not the Ninjase build. Took us down without the Nautilus there to protect us somehow, right? So yeah, I gave up. I put the Nautilus back on. He was keeping me alive somehow. I'm not really sure how that worked, but you know, it's magic, right? I also, when I re-equipped it, took the opportunity to switch the build. So originally I had the good Nautilus build, plus I think Ninjase's VERGLAS Prime build. That was the one that was really successful. And now I switched it to Ninjase's Nautilus Prime build and Beastlinator's VERGLAS build, which might be why it's not working as well. I'm not killing things as quickly. I don't know the magic myself. I know somebody in the comments is going to be able to explain the relationship between the mods. I don't really personally care that much as long as they work. And yes, it's good to create your own builds with the knowledge of how it all works. I just don't have the brain power to get my head around that. I just like coming to the Simulacrum, testing out some builds, and if they're not working, then I go to Overframe to get an idea, and then I'll tweak it as I need it. If something's not working, I've got a feeling that a mod isn't quite doing the thing I want it to do, I'll switch it out. And obviously in the Overframe builds, they often say, oh, you can switch this one out if you're not doing it for this purpose. Like, they often talk about priming and status spreading and DPS and stuff like that. And as you can see, Nautilus Prime is now going down. So it's worth trialing and erroring it here. And I've got a, you know, level 220 enemies there, so I can go with my Simulacrum. And it's quite interesting. And then after Citrine, I changed to Jaya. So I have done a Jaya video, and I have this sort of optimum build where I have two. But the electric damage, the electric boogaloo, she's brilliant for it. Now, I couldn't put electric damage on, I think, my VERGLAS or my Nautilus. So I wouldn't normally use Nautilus in conjunction with my Jaya for the missions I take her on. But, you know, I gave it a go because I love my Jaya. And unfortunately, Nautilus went down pretty damn quick. So I don't know how to stop that happening. I still haven't fully formed this build up for Nautilus or VERGLAS. And in the next bit of footage, you're going to see that I actually took Nautilus where Nautilus should be, and that is, of course, Railjack missions. So because we're taking the Nautilus out on a Railjack mission where it belongs, we're going to stick that Auto Omni mod in there. That is specifically for Railjack missions, I believe, because it fixes hull damage, it extinguishes fires. I think it put out my electrical damage as well. We'll have a look. So yeah, I modded it this way based on the other mod configurations I'd seen previously looking over Overframe, and that kind of did it okay. And I took Sevagoth, and yeah, I went and did this volatile Railjack. Now, I don't know a huge amount about Railjack missions, I'll be perfectly honest with you. Totally honest, and I think I need to learn. It's a bit like the Duviri thing. I tend not to do it because I don't enjoy it that much, but I do want to level up my intrinsics for various reasons I'll go into in the Railjack video, and I'm going to start working on that very soon and try to help guide you, because the intrinsics, it kind of impacts other areas of the game without you realizing it, maybe, possibly. So it is worth coming out here and doing some Railjack missions. Now, getting your head around how they work, I mean, I spent ages chasing after this target, this white target that was like an optional thing, and I didn't know how to take it down, so I gave up. But I got the mission complete, and the Auto Omni really did come into play here. And as you can see, there's electrical damage, and look, it's auto omniing before we even got there, and it was done like in seconds, not even seconds, it was done. And it was the same with the fires and hull breaches. It would just, if you ran towards it, it would just fix it for you. And I liked that that was useful, because sometimes when you're soloing a Railjack mission, or you just happen to be out here on your own and you've got things blowing up, it's just a bit faffy. And yeah, I mean, I managed to find the White Tower okay, the little extra bit that you get on the Corpus missions. Again, we'll go over this in a Railjack episode, or different types of Railjack missions, etc, etc. Took me a moment to realise that I had to big bada boom this target because nothing else was working. I am literally clueless when it comes to Railjack missions. However, not literally, but you know, it's not my area of expertise yet. But I do love a hyper focus. Where are my hyper focus nerds at? Can I get a hell yeah in the comments? Anyway, yeah, so I was enjoying it. My heart isn't completely in using the Nautilus for everything all the time, obviously, but the VERGLAS is what I'm interested in. So do you guys use, like, what weapons do you use in your sentinel companions more than anything? That's what I want to know. What are people using? There's so many options. I really need to get into this, and maybe a teeny tiny little mini series is upcoming at some point, just because I'm curious, you know. Anyway, my darlings, let me know what you think of the Nautilus / Nautilus Prime and the VERGLAS / VERGLAS Prime. Are you happy about it? Tell me more about your mod configurations, because I'm nosy and I want to know what I'm missing out on. Did Overframe help you? And I know I haven't been very helpful in this video, but there were some mod configurations there to help you on your way if you literally have no idea, like myself. Anyway, not a meta gamer, never have been, probably never will be. Love a bit of red crit, but I'm here for the blast and the gamings and the YouTube videos and just building my Discord community and entertaining people if I can, and helping, obviously. And I'm off to play other games all the time. They don't do as well as my Warframe videos, but one day, maybe I can just draw people in with my beautiful tongues, you know. And who knows, one day maybe I'll start putting my face in my videos. And then you'll all be tuning out. Anyway, my darlings, I'm rambling. You're not here for that. Maybe you are. Who knows? In the meantime, I just want to say thank you so much for joining me. Again, let me know in the comments what you're doing with your Nautiluses or Nautilis and your Sentinel weapons. What are you using? What are you using them for? Let me know in the comments. I'm very nosy. Okay, thank you so much for being here. I really do hope to see you again in the next one, no matter what it may be. Thank you for listening to my rambles. Drop me a like, comment, and or sub. And I really, really do hope to see you again soon. In the meantime, you take care now and